What are you doing? You want your shelf level or not? And if I say yes, you're gonna provide that for me with that? Yes, see the bubble? I'm familiar with the bubble, Morty. I also dabble in precision, and if you think you can even approach it with your sad, naked caveman eyeball and a bubble of air, you're the reason this species is a failure, and it makes me angry. You're drunk. You wanna put up a shelf, put up a shelf. You wanna experience true level? Do you? Yes? All right, come on. Wow, it's so... Oh my God. Oh, Christ. Yeah, true level, bitch.
Morning, come on, we're leaving for school.
Everything's crooked. Reality is poison. I want to go back. I hate this.
What's his deal?
Morty. Go to school, Summer. I'll go in Morty's memory and do a little... Let's...
Hey everybody, welcome to today's Dev Diary video where we're going to be talking about Geeked-Out Basketball's version of True Level. And let's jump right into it, aka Perfect Level. But this is what I'm working on right now, and this is what we're going for. It's really building a fully unified animation system, and that's what I've been spending the majority of my time on since last week's update. We have done a few bug fixes and quality of life updates, which is what we reserve Fridays for. And we haven't pushed those to live yet because our animation system unification project is throwing a few other things off right now. So I don't want to give you all a subpar version to play. But that being said, I'm going to play through a game after this and I'll show you some of the bugs and quality of life stuff that we've done. But before we do that, let's talk about Perfect Level. So this is really what we're going for, and this is what we're building, but it's unifying three main components within the game engine. It's the actual sim engine itself. It's all the logic and everything that's taking place on the back end. It's the front end animation, so the player sprites and the ball sprite that you see. And then it's the game clock and making sure this is all perfectly synced to the game clock. And so that's our version of Perfect Level. Ideally, when you're playing this, after we launch this feature, you're going to notice things like location of every player, location of the ball, just game geography playing a pretty significant role in outcomes, player decisions, particularly higher IQ players. You're going to see them if there's a teammate who's relatively open, or if they've got a pretty open shot to the basket and the sprites represent that. That's going to be an accurate representation of what exactly is happening on the back end. And so they'll take advantage accordingly. And then, again, we've kind of taken a first pass at syncing our gameplay to the game clock. But as some of you have noticed, it's not perfect yet. We've got a few instances where the shot clock's hitting 0 and the turn still goes and a shot is animated. Rest assured, the back end, that's all working appropriately, but we just don't have it perfectly synced to the game clock and the front end animation yet. That's what we're doing. This is a highly complex work stream, and I think this is going to be our last like super technical complex work stream that's taking a long time. I think after we get this one, there's still going to be some heavy lifts like the game design upgrade and, you know, overhauling the playbook and that type of stuff. But this is a super precise technical work stream. But this is the main thing that we're working on. So we want to get you all your perfect level, your version of perfect level when you're playing a basketball sim game like this. So that way, after you play our game and you notice how perfectly everything's executing, you're going to be like Morty when he steps off perfect level, and you're just not going to be able to deal with other sim games. That being said, let's jump into a gameplay, and I'm just going to kind of show you a few features. So let's do here. I've got a game queued up. Most of them have to do with fast breaks, or at least they're going to be showing. So I'm going to dial up fast breaks. I'm going to get back on D to 50-50, and we'll show you here. You're going to see some bugs because this is right in the middle of the fully unified game. animation system. But I just kind of want to show you a few things that are happening. Number one, you're going to notice a more consistent movement for player speeds. It's a little slow right now. We're going to get all that synced. Here you see good decision. So we're going to have this button here on some of the stuff when players make good decisions or poor decisions. You're going to see a gold button that reads good decision or a red button that reads bad decision on their announcement pop-up, just to kind of give you more of a sense for, are your guys making good or poor decisions during key moments out there. And so the design, we need to work on those. Like the word good decision wasn't coming through as clearly as it should have in that one, but still we're pretty excited about that one. One thing you're going to see too when you get in here is we got more detailed fouls instances. And so before it just said offensive foul or defensive foul, but those were actual fouls that were happening, and now we're communicating that. So you're going to see it's like illegal screen or elbowing or hand check or other things. And those fouls are based on your player attributes and your coach settings. So you'll start to get a feel like if you have a lower IQ, super aggressive player, he's going to be committing more, call it aggressive type fouls. Whereas if you have lower technically talented players, they're going to be committing more sort of like technical fouls, right? Like an illegal screen or something like that. Let's see if we can get one of those just to kind of show you a bit more depth of what's going on. You're also going to notice armbar. You see, like, for example, there was armbar. Jeffrey Jackson committed an armbar on that one defensively. So, and that was he was probably guarding someone who was a bit stronger than him, who was out muscling him at that moment. And so he kind of got forced into doing an armbar, trying to hold his leverage and hold his position. Okay, we got a steal. We'll work at, okay. Oh, and then another thing you'll notice too is players' agility now has more impact on their movement. So you're going to notice some sprites are moving across the court quicker or slower, etc. And then another thing you're going to notice too, and I want to play through a little bit, but you're going to notice that all of these sprites now have a little pulse to them. And these pulses, it's kind of like a heartbeat, we're calling it. And it's really showing how fatigued your players are. So the faster the pulse or the faster the heartbeat, the more winded your player is. And you're going to see like he's kind of like, kind of panting pretty hard. So not only do you have the colors within their names to help you, but you kind of get it viscerally as well too. So like the power forward for us, Marconi, you'll kind of see he's PF. You're going to see his sprite is going to be pulsing a bit faster than the others. I think these might be a little subtle. You see he's kind of like a little more pronounced than the others. I think these are a little subtle. Tell me in the comments if you agree. It's there, but I think we need to make that scale a little more pronounced so it's more obvious. I have, as I'm playing this, so I have gotten moments where it's pretty clear that a couple of players are significantly more fatigued than the others. And I like to do this with Four Corners because Four Corners, if you remember, is the highest endurance team in Conference 1. And so they will typically be sort of like panting a little less and a little more slowly than their opponents. So let's kind of take a step back and watch this. Yeah, you see, like, you notice the Morristown, especially their power forward and center, they're panting. That being said, I do think this needs to be more pronounced. I think both the rate of the pulse and the distance that they covered. There was a little bug where the ball's getting left behind. That bug's actually been there. So there was a bad decision. He chose not to push the fast break. And then you saw a little animation bug. That's just something. We're aware of that one. We're working on that one right now. But that was a decision where Norris Kahn should have pushed the fast break. And he chose not to. And so that was a bad decision. And we're going to keep aggregating stats of all of this as well, too. So, okay. So there was a steal. Let's play this to the... Oh, and another steal. Trading steals. Oh, and you're going to also notice, too, I hope we get a final shot here. But now we're animating fully to second 0, and they're waiting to take the shot until there's about 5 seconds remaining. So you're going to see it here. Oh, there's a timeout called. I want to get to this, so let's just do this. So you're going to see there's 15 seconds left, so we're going to animate the final shot. And you're going to notice the point guard just holds the ball until about 5 seconds, makes the pass, boom, and there it is. So Just a few quality of life updates. Sorry if it feels like things are moving a little slow for us right now. This whole true level, perfect level that we're going for across the game clock sync, the front end animation, and the back end logic. This is a huge lift, but we really think this is going to be one of the key features that's going to make this basketball sim game unlike anything else that's out there. Because there's a lot of great basketball sims, but a lot of them are really good on the logic, but they kind of fall short on the animation. And then there's obviously something like NBA 2K, which has really strong physics-based animation. But you could argue it's a little light on strategy sometimes because that's not, I mean, it's got strategy, but that's not the key focus. The key focus is the physics and obviously the league marks, but then also the sort of like user control of the player versus more like a coaching perspective. So there's more emphasis on, how you handle the D-pad and the buttons and your timing and everything. Whereas here, you more need to like just make coaching decisions, and then you need to watch how your players execute and constantly be adjusting during gameplay. And so we need to have as many visual cues in the animation system so that you can more effectively coach your games in Geeked Out Basketball. So that's it for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you have any ideas or thoughts, drop them in the comments below. And as always, I really appreciate every one of you who's taken the time to watch these videos. We're making progress. It's day by day. We're grinding on this thing, and we're going to have a fully playable game in the near future. Okay, everybody have a great week. We'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.